over. Running time jump program. Opening the vortex. Start the countdown.
3, 2, yes. 1. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for stopping by on the video. So today we have push and arms at Ultraflex Derby. I'm also joined by my client Wilberto. Get a visual on Wilberto. Say hi, mate. So this is Wilberto. His name's not Wilberto, his name's Will Bertolini, but I call him Wilberto. So Will is just under 11 weeks out from his first ever show, first prep this year. So we're going to go through a session. He does push on Tuesday anyway, so we're going to have our push and arm session together, and then we'll go through some posing. I've also got a few other clients here, so George, Sonny and Owen are all here as well, so we might get some posing with those. But yeah, like today, push for me, basically we've just got a lateral incline press, shoulder dominant press, fly, some dips, some arm work. Probably my easiest session of the week, based on the fact that it's probably my strongest body parts. Like my chest and my arms especially are really my strongest body parts. So this is one of my lower volume sessions, and just generally like push sessions aren't that demanding, especially when I'm not at like absolute peak strength yet. I'm close on a lot of pressing movements, but I'm not at that point where I'm pressing, more weight than I've ever done. So session should be generally, within a couple of hours. It's never too long of a session anyway. So yeah, there's not much else to update on. Body weight is very similar as probably last time that I spoke to you. I'm like 182, 183 at the minute, just off the back of a deload, feeling really good after it. I definitely needed it. I was feeling pretty trashed. So yeah, all is good. If you want to know more, go and listen to one of the recent podcasts, because me and Reese always give updates as to where we're at. So yeah, first movement is a cable lateral. So let's get cracking. Right guys, so first exercise was a cable lateral raise. So if you have a look, what I'm basically doing is I'm like angling my body away from the cable, letting my arm, my humerus, my upper arm come across my torso slightly, just to lengthen the side delt a little bit more. And then also as I drive out, I'm sort of keeping my arm as straight as I can, creating the sort of widest angle as possible, so that like through the mid to lengthen range here, it's going to be its hardest. And then as the moment arm decreases, as I get closer to being in line with my torso, the load drops off. So where I'm weaker at the top, especially with the cable being set at this height, it's going to drop off slightly. This is the best I've ever connected with my side delts, and probably the most progress I've ever seen in my side delts. And at the minute, that's all I do for my side delts. I don't do any other machine, I don't do any other cable variation. I literally just do that. Unilateral as well, because I can just connect and focus on one side at a time. I can make that a reel.
Do you copy over? Running time jump program. Opening the vortex. Start the countdown.
3, 2, yes. 1, yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, lovely. Come on, easy. Yeah, good. Come on. Be aggressive.
Good.
Yeah, one.
Breathe hard. Yep. Yeah, good.
Yeah, one.
Right. Good.
Good. Thought I'd take a second force rep because I knew I wasn't going to do another set. So again, I've spoke about this before, like top sets and back off sets. I've been kind of thinking like this morning, oh, I want to do 6 plates on the Atlantis. I want to do 6 plates. So I did 5.5 and a 1.25 as my top set, and it felt relatively light. I think I got 7 reps. So then I'm thinking like, just do 6, just feel it, just go for it, why not? I think I got like 4 and 2 then, something like that. And it actually felt really good. I took an extra force rep, like I said, because I knew that I wasn't going to do another set there. And I feel like I still had like a little bit to give, so I don't mind when Reese is there and he's giving me a decent spot, I don't mind taking another force rep. But yeah, again, like you don't have to just do top set, back off, top set, back off. Like that was my second set and it was heavier and it felt really good. And it was only like a 4 repper. But I've never moved that amount of weight on that machine. And I've been like 50 pounds heavier doing it before, so I might be growing, might be. Easy. Yeah. Come on, move it. Don't worry if it dead stops. Yeah. Elbows in, elbows in. You get on your own.
Come on.
Tight.
Bigger, bigger. Yeah.
All the way, all the way.
Good. Come on.
Yeah, finish and leave it there. Nice. Good man. Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, well.
Come on.
Come on.
Drive.
Ooh. So, 2 sets of a mid-high incline. I've got a bit of an issue with my left side. I talk about it all the time, but basically when I'm in like a lot of external rotation at the shoulder and I'm like out here, it feels really awkward. So doing a pronated grip, if it's like the Jim Lecco press, for example, it's a little bit too wide. So the reason that we're using this Nautilus Smith that's got an angle, and the reason that I'm not fully upright and I'm more on like a 50-degree incline, is so I can keep my elbows ahead of my torso like this. So I'm pressing here, which feels a hell of a lot more comfortable than out here for me. Might not for everybody else, but for me at the minute, being externally rotated through this left shoulder just feels really awkward. So setting it up here feels a hell of a lot better. So basically, third main movement. Last week I did 3 sets of a fly. This week I did a fly just as 1 set. I've just done a press. Both felt pretty good. I'll probably do the 3rd set as a fly. On the press, you're gonna get a little bit more tricep involvement. Maybe not get quite as much of a stretch through the pecs. Maybe a little bit more joint pressure with more load, but that's not really a problem. Like, still got a really good connection with my chest, but yeah, 3rd set I'll do as a fly. Ultimately, I'm doing 3 extra sets of primarily pec focused movement. Whether I do it on here, the Nautilus pec fly, a dumbbell fly, whatever it may be, as long as I'm getting a good connection, getting a lot of blood in my chest, and it's safe and progressible, doesn't really matter what I'm doing. Yep. Contract, come back down. Yeah, good. Yeah. Very easy just to sort of let it rest at the top. Very easy to let it rest at the top on that, 'cause it drops off a lot. Same with like dumbbell curls. You see people on like an incline dumbbell curl, they'll like stop and pause here for like 5 seconds because it's easy there. Like, because you're basically stacking the load against your joint, against gravity, and they'll sort of rest, and then go for another rep, and it's like, oh, really hard. When like realistically, you want to just stop here rather than getting your elbows like actually under your wrist. Thank you, mate. Oh. So, supersetting the Jim Lecco preacher curl with the prime dip. The prime dip is like, I'm classing it as a tricep movement, but I get a lot of lower pec out of it as well, which is fine. Obviously, I don't really do any costal pec focus work in the rest of the session. So, supersetting these, and then we've got a little bit of more lengthened work for the biceps and the triceps, and then pretty much done. Right, guys, so for arm work, like my arms are one of my better body parts, so I'll have them at the end of this push and arm day. I'll basically do 2 bicep dominant movements and 2 tricep dominant. 1 bicep more short and focused, which is the preacher curl, which obviously places me into a little bit of shoulder flexion, so I'm like fully shortening the bicep. And then the tricep dip is my more short and focused. And obviously I've got a lot of pressing in this session anyway. And then the more lengthened dominant work, you'll see I'm doing a cuffed overhead extension. So I'm like sitting into the stretch, really getting a good stretch here. Then as I press, it's gonna drop off a little bit and it's a little bit easier to get it fully short. And then the bicep lengthened work is gonna be a single arm cable curl, a Bayesian curl, so sort of like behind the body. And I sort of like slightly adjust my torso as I perform the movement to not only like keep that tension through my triceps. If you just have your arm hanging behind your body, it feels a bit naff. So I'm keeping that tension on my bicep, keeping it tucked into the side of my body. And again, as I curl up and stand up a little bit, it drops off the profile slightly. So again, it's a little bit easier to get it short. And then I do generally like some form of lateral work just to get a bit more blood in my side delts. And then we'll go and pose. Right guys, so that's the session done. I'm gonna go through some posing with the boys. Owen's already gone. So we've got Will, Sonny and George, all who are about 10.5 weeks out from the NBW Classic show. So very excited for that. So gonna go through some posing, see where they're at, and then I'm basically gonna do some reels, because that's what we're here for. And who's watching this video? Everyone's just watching the reels. Make sure you go and check me out on Instagram and watch all my reels. Really good. Sam does a good job with the reels. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna pose. I might really quickly pose actually, and then we'll go through that.